Hello and welcome to Bass Fishing 202. I'm your host, Lance Perticone. The shores of many of the lakes that I fish are lined with flooded brush. And when the fish are active and shallow, I really like to throw a chatterbait in and around that flooded brush. The problem I had was that brush, both above and below the water line, would just seem to grab onto my chatterbait and not let go, even when I thought I'd made a perfect cast. It was just a little too frustrating throwing a regular chatterbait like this into the brush. It is, after all, akin to throwing an open hook jig into the brush. Despite the blade, a lot of snags happen. So I started buying the Z-Man Weedless Project Series Weedless Chatterbait for this very reason. This cut my snags way down to a very manageable level. Unless I feel like a glutton for punishment, I wouldn't dare cast a regular chatterbait into these areas. But as you can see, the weedless version stays mostly snag-free. But even though this weed guard is the same as it is for a swim jig, I still felt it somehow impeded my hookups. So I started trimming my chatterbait weed guards to make them more like Y guards. This is how I do it. First, spread the fibers of the weed guard out like a fan. All right. Now, they won't stay that way, or else that's all I would do. But I've counted 25 strands in the typical weed guard, so I'll count 8 from the edge. And then I'll separate out the next 9. Okay. And then I'll trim them off with sharp scissors or cutters. Now, if my counting and my math are correct, that leaves you about 8 strands on each arm of the Y. Now, I have found that this arrangement still keeps my bait relatively snag-free, and I am more confident with my hookups. I wouldn't have dared try doing that if I didn't have the Weedless Chatterbait. 341. weed guard lets me throw into nasty stuff like that. Now Z-Man also makes the David Walker model, which has wire weed guards, but the available colors aren't quite the same, so I actually carry both in my box. So give these modifications a try if you're throwing chatterbaits around flooded brush and trees and you want a little higher hookup ratio without compromising your snag resistance. Hey, thanks for spending a little of your time with me in Bass Fishing 202, just a little more advanced than Bass Fishing 101. Thank you for subscribing for free and at no obligation. Please be well, and I'll see you all next time.